So we are starting now. Today, what we are going to do is, first of all, I'm going to, both cases are medical related cases only. But the main important thing is what we had discussed that day about the accuracy of the pinpointed, what is it called, pinpointed analysis is the main point over here. Okay. So I'm sharing the screen now. And I want you all to pitch in and tell me what basically there. Now, this is my D1 chart. Okay. And basically, yesterday I started having pain at the, if I draw the foot basically like this, okay, this portion, the instep basically, okay, here the, I started having pain. So now I want you all to tell me what should actually come to my mind first. Can somebody tell me? I think out of the entire
Your 12th house, fifth Rashi.
Why fifth Rashi? As a fifth Rashi.
Because
Okay. Then
so Sun is the Lord.
no, don't. I'm saying like a blank chart thing. In case you don't have anything. Suppose let us say, see, actually what I did, I'll tell you the entire protocol. I didn't have this in front of me, but I had anticipated that something must have gone wrong. So what should come to my mind first? So 12th house, okay. 12th Rashi also, because always look at the Kalpurush only also. Then what should I? Don't look at my chart at all, Chipra, because you're the only one over here who might be able to answer. And Dilip Kaka's mic is not working, so he might not be able to answer. So you will only have to answer. The people in the waiting room. So what should I be seeing?
Your transit planets.
Okay. And for the transit,
And
you have to have some sort of this thing, basic yoga in the chart.
Sixth house is normally health.
So because some
So
okay. So suppose we have got these six. Okay, 1 minute. But Sankalp, you had done some analysis. Let's see his thing first. Then I'll do this because otherwise it will overlap that. Sankalp, what had you analyzed before you cast the chart?
Actually, I saw like if it is a foot issue, so maybe so snake is Saturn is the Karak.
Okay.
So Saturn, like when I casted the chart, Saturn was in 8th house.
Okay.
And like Jama snake was in Pisces. So 8th house was Pisces here. And Pisces is also 12th Rashi. And again in the nakshatra of Uttar Bhadrapad. So again Saturn connection was there.
Okay.
And now since the Udayam was in Leo, so 12th was Cancer. So 12th house lord is Moon. And the Arudam was also in 12th house only.
12th house
in Pushya Nakshatra, Saturn.
Pushya Nakshatra, म्हणजे third Rashi, fourth Rashi.
And again, I think one more thing was there. Yeah, 12th Lord Moon was in 6th house.
12th Lord was in 6th house.
12th Lord Moon in 6th house.
What is this telling you?
And one more thing was there, like Jama Saturn was going through Kavipu, near about Kavipu.
The Jama Saturn was going to Kavipu, or Kavipu was catching it?
Kavipu was catching it, sorry.
So what was going towards the Jama? What was going to Kavipu?
I think I have a chart of that.
This one, Kavipu was catching what you said?
Saturn, Jama Saturn.
So if it is catching Jama Saturn, then Venus will be coming towards it. No?
And also it was in Rohini Nakshatra. So again, moon connection was there. So Saturn moon connection is there somewhat.
Saturn was in Rohini Nakshatra. Saturn was in Rohini Nakshatra.
Saturn, the main Saturn was in Uttar Bhadrapad,
नहीं,
Pisces.
नहीं, रोहिणी नक्षत्र में वो you said just now, what was in रोहिणी नक्षत्र?
Rohini Nakshatra, Kavipu.
Okay. Now you tell me the analysis.
So I think there is a connection of Saturn and moon somewhere.
Correct.
And also Saturn is a karak of feet. So that is also a thing. And whenever moon is going through it, the 12th lord is going through it. So like the pain is activated, like like it is 6, 8, 12 connection somewhat. That's what I feel.
Okay. Has everyone understood what you
Uh,
said?
So I had also passed a chart just in the morning, and I had also found that the moon dasha and the moon and Saturn connection similarly in my chart. I can't see uh, the nakshatras in this, but so Saturn and moon is basically what like an old yes कोई old है ये
So basically,
pain.
you got Saturn and Moon connection, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Saturn and some who's writing in chat? No? Yes, so I think chat में मत लिखो. I will not. I can't control everything. You all planets affecting creatures. हाँ. Chat में don't write. You just directly talk to me or this thing. Because I can't. There are too many things I'm controlling right now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So basically, what we are saying is Moon and Saturn. Swati, now you because they have said you what you wrote, just talk and tell because then I'll write it down here separately. What
सर
is
सैटर्न जो है वो 12th हाउस में है ऑलरेडी, और जो मून मर्क्यूरी सन है आई थिंक वो फील्ड से ही रिलेटेड है.
एक मिनट क्या मून
मून मर्क्यूरी और सन तीनों जो ग्रह हैं जो फील्ड को इफेक्ट करते हैं वो एक साथ है, शायद उसके कारण भी इशू है फील्ड में.
Yeah, I hope all of you can see the screen which I'm sharing. Can you see what I'm typing out? Just want to cross check. All of you
Yeah.
can typing out, right? Okay. Okay, so all of you have basically got a Saturn Moon connection, right? Okay. So I'm going a little tangent now. Basically, Saturn and Moon, if you have to see from a positive side, because we want to know where this happened, right? So Saturn is what? And this one Sankalp has got snake also, which is important. So Saturn, snake, moon, and 12. From a positive point, see, okay, it was giving me pain, but always see the positive part of it to find out why it happened. Positive meaning whatever. So what does Saturn stand for? Come on. Career. Bro, Saturn is career. What does moon stand for?
Travel.
Travel. What does snake stand for? In travel, I'm giving a hint. Snake is what? Snake in travel, what will you say?
एक्सीडेंट.
नहीं रे बाबा, एक्सीडेंट क्यों करा रही है मेरा एक्सीडेंट नहीं हो सकता.
Warren, long distance.
No, snake.
Confusion.
No. Snake is what?
Uh,
Imagine a snake and what corresponds to a snake in travel. I will give you a deeper hint, mode of travel,
Train.
correct? And what is
Train.
correct? Train, because it's like a snake. And
Like, yeah.
why snake specifically? What type of a train I must have traveled by? Is it a travel on the ground or would it be underground? Snake is underground, no?
Underground.
Metro
Correct.
kind of a
Metro.
thing.
Metro.
Correct.
Metro.
So I'll tell you this thing now. Now since the last 3-4 days I've been traveling by metro. Okay. Or maybe 5 days. First 3 days I was wearing normal sports shoes, so nothing happened. That day, barabar, I wore my boots. Okay, and the ground little up and down. So that time my foot little twisted here and there. Now you all have told all this. This is fine. What I'll do is I'll just flatten this only. So now what I'm showing you is basically
Sir, also one more thing, like Pisces is again like Jupiter connection is also there. So Jupiter, Saturn, there can also Jupiter, Saturn, and again in Saturn Nakshatra can also denote something related to ankle or like shoes related something can also be there.
yeah, like that. Actually speaking, you can go much deeper. I was not going much since you said. I tell you, Jupiter and Moon are both karak of education and teacher. No? So I was on the way in that metro wearing those boots, going to my college to deliver a lecture. Like that, you can go very deeper, but वो मैं नहीं जा रहा था. Now just see what
Sir,
happened.
from,
हाँ,
so from your ascendant, anyways, Ketu and Mars are transiting in your 12th, which is
yeah,
a fleet.
you're
Can
right.
we-
Ketu, the transit Ketu is here.
Mars also is in Leo.
Transit,
So it's a shrill sharp pain.
where is transit Rahu right now? Transit Rahu is also.
Rahu is
Your transit,
Aquarius, no?
the transit Mars is also here. But
Yeah.
now, what I'm trying to tell you, which I discussed last time, is we have to see the degree of these guys. Okay. Now I just tell you, see, basically what happened, the pain started in the morning only yesterday. But because of work and all that, वो ध्यान में नहीं रहा, I was just pushing it ahead. रात को, basically, I don't know what time, I tell you what time. So at 8:47, I decided that बाकी दुनिया के लिए करता हूँ, तो let me do something for myself. So I cast that chart. But before I cast the chart, nowadays it happens, it will be happening to you all also. First of all, Saturn came to my mind because Saturn is the karak of lower limbs. 12th Rashi came into my mind. Okay. Basically because of this thing. And now when I cast the Jamakol chart here, if you see this, if you see Aruda, Moon and Saturn are all together. Correct? Saturn, if you see here, is in Sun, which is my 12th lord. Now, if you see Udayam is here, Moon ke nakshatra mein, Moon ke rashi mein, which has got Mars over there. Mars has crossed it, but whatever. Mars is here, and your Kavipu is here with snake. Okay, so if you see the transit Saturn is here, and if you see my transit Saturn is here. Now we need to mark it out. Where is my transit Saturn at 7 degrees? So what I do, I'm just showing you. This I consider 0 and this I consider 30. So when I make the notation, if it is at 7, I'm making it dark brown for my Saturn. It is at 7 degrees, correct? 7 degrees. Now, what is that? काय सांग? Now if you see the transit,
7
Saturn.
degrees. 7 degrees.
So transit Saturn also comes here at 7 degrees. Now Saturn happens to be my which lord? Which lord is it? My ascendant is here.
6th lord.
6th law.
5th and 6th.
Heated with my what lord?
12th lord.
12th lord.
12th lord.
With my first
Lagna
lord.
Adhipati. First lord.
So first lord seated with the 12th lord in the 6th house. And uska pratyantar dasha and sukshma dasha is on. And even this is on. Antar dasha is on. So is Saturn totally on? Bro, Saturn is on. अभी ये Saturn के ऊपर Saturn आ गया में compounded effect आ गया. Because this Saturn is on, this Rashi of his is on, this Rashi of his is on. Because this fellow is on, my 6th house is on, my 12th lord is on, and my first lord is on. Correct? Have you understood this? So over here, I am trying to show that last time the point here. Now in the next example, I took this first because this was a smaller one. The next one is a more detailed one. This one is a more detailed one. So before that, that's why I want to do this first. Everyone understood over here? So first of all, catching the correct planet. Second is trying to correlate that with the dasha and correlate that with the transit. Because an event will happen only in transit or a dasha. Anyone wants to add anything beyond this, or we can go to the next one? All okay? Okay, sure. Now, this I showed you this, and this was the transit chart which I wanted to see over here. So my Saturn and other Saturn both are here. By the way, you can see it from one other angle also. My natal Rahu is here, and the transit Rahu is here. So in a way, this becomes a Pap Kartari. If you know what is Pap Kartari. Kartari means Katri, means scissors. And if two Papi Graha are on both sides, and here since Rahu and Rahu are here, it actually becomes again like a compounded effect over there. Okay. Sure. Now we come to this chart. This person is around 72, 73. And on 8th of December 23, he had a heart operation. This one I'm calling as 1. Okay. So when I write 1 ahead, you will understand what I'm saying. This I'm calling as 2, and this I'm calling as 3. So event number 1 is heart operation on 8th of December 23. Event number 2, 16th of July 24, pulse suddenly dropped and he was admitted. And a pacemaker was also put over there. And presently what he is facing is breathlessness. So now, first of all, what comes to your mind, I want you all to tell me, which I'll punch in over here as your talk. Can somebody tell me what, before we even open the chart, what,
4th house, heart related. Pulse drop, it could be blood related, so Mars.
sorry, 4th house, 4th, or whenever you say house, always say Rashi also, because
Rashi.
what did you say? Moon.
4th house and 4th Rashi.
वो बराबर है.
And Mars for blood related. Actually, Mars and Moon, then flow of blood maybe to the heart. Breathless also it'll be related to fourth because lungs.
Which one?
Lungs
But
will also be related to fourth.
heart and lungs and pulse.
Sun,
It says we have to get the karak of these guys, no?
sir, sun for heart, vitality.
Correct.
Sun,
Mercury for lungs.
Pulse.
sun,
What goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down? Which planet goes up and down, up and down, up and down?
Moon.
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 All Karak Tattva of all the planets now are related to the way they move also. Okay. Okay, why Mercury lungs? Can you tell me the logic behind that?
It's this thing is air.
Okay,
The element is air.
that's a good thing. The third Rashi is air, that is upper respiratory. But more than you are going very deep. Mercury का basic character तो क्या है? Multiplicity, no? Duplication. So how many lungs do we have? Two. So that is the
Yes, sir. Anything which comes in pairs is one.
pairs. Multiplicity बोलो या duality. Sorry, my word.
Duality. Yeah.
So duality is this thing, correct? Now, this is one thing I want to tell you, which I keep doing and which has helped me a lot. Now, if we want to pinpoint the thing, no, we need to actually identify where they are positioned. Okay, so I'm just putting red dots. I'll share the chart also with you, so later you can see it better. But now I want to first of all get these guys into position. Moon, Mercury, this one. So where is this guy's sun? So it is here. Can you see the dots I'm making? कि मोठं करू दे. मानसी दिसतंय का?
हो दिसतंय.
Okay. So Mercury is here. Array, sun is here. Mercury is here. They are both in the ascendant. And moon is here in the second house, 9th Rashi. Correct? Now, one Brigu technique. Mars, when it moves this way, it is going to hit moon. So it is trying to tell us that something related to Rahu is going to hit it. Correct? So that is one point. Second thing is, these are the dashas over here. So Jupiter, Venus, Jupiter dasha. Okay. So if you have to identify the dasha lords, which I'll make in, let us say, blue. So I have marked it here, if you can see here. Jupiter is here. Jupiter is here. Venus is here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll highlight these slightly. So this one is on, this one is on. By the way, Jupiter is also lungs. Why? Any boneless organ in the body is this, correct? Now, if you see this, they are in 1-7 axis. So basically, if this guy is on, this guy is on, and vice versa. On top of that, the Antardasha Lord is also on, and the Maha and Pratyantardasha Lord is also on. So this house is also on, this house is also on. Now go back to the natural Kalpurusha. Every time you jump back, this is the natural 2, which is what the natural Marak. And this is the natural 8, which is again the natural house of obstacles, accidents, surgeries, problems, correct? Now, firstly, now I'm zooming in over here. You need to now just go along with me, otherwise you'll get confused. I'm making a purple thing so that you can see. Now I'm forget about everything, just try to keep it blank. I'm trying to identify the guy. So if you see here, that red box which I've done, rectangle which I've done, identifies the ascendant. I show the ascendant in this gray color. So ascendant basically is in Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Correct? Seventh pada of that. So it is basically in the second pada of Jyeshtha. So in the seventh number pada over here. You remember last time I had shown you how to get that. Where is sun? Sun is also in the same pada. The yellow is there. So when gray ke upar yellow aata means there are two guys over there. Are all of you understanding? Bouncer nahi kar rahe. All of you keep your cameras on, please.
Where is the gray, Dada? Sorry.
This.
Okay, got it.
So basically what I do is I show the Udayam in gray because all the other colors have been taken. And then the other colors I take as per what I require them. So this we have identified, this one we have identified. Venus is this pink guy over here, if you can see. Correct? And Mercury is here, the green one. So depending on the degree, depending on the nakshatra, depending on the pada, they have been put into those slots.
Where did you say sun was?
This yellow.
Only. This is the sun.
Huh.
And ascendant is also over here.
Both are in the
At
same.
the same place.
Correct. So
Okay.
basically that was the next point I was going to say is that if ascendant is associated with some planet, the good or bad of that planet affects this one. So like he had risen to a very good position as a professor and all that level thing. So that is where the sun was helping him. Now you realize after some time, I'll give you the hint just now only, because when all this happened, this guy is going to end in 10 minutes. So just remember. When all this happened, no, and I realized that Saturn, Moon, and Sun were involved, the first thing which came to my mind is, I asked him, did you retire? And within a couple of months, this thing happened. So first he said no. Over the phone, WhatsApp, I asked him, he said no. There was like 1 year difference or something like that. And next day when I met him in person, and then I was questioning him like that, it so happened that he retired and within 2 months this happened. And I said, yesterday I was asking you, said no. He said, no, I didn't understand what you were saying. I miscalculated something like that. So what happens is the Karak Tattva, that's what I keep saying, the secret of astrology, according to me, I feel, is how the Karak Tattva behave. So if you see Sun, if you see Moon, if you see Mercury, and if you see Venus, Sun is what? Authority or big institute. So he was in JJ College of Architecture, which is the premium institute. Moon is what? Teaching. Mercury is what? Education. Venus is a different thing, which I'll tell you. He also had a very good, very expensive pen collection. He's a pen collector. So pens also over here. Now what happened is he retired. His related thing to teaching went for a toss. His thing for learning went for a toss. And I said, did you sell off your pens also? He said, yes. So that pens also got disassociated from him. You're understanding? So basically what is happening is all these planets ka Karak Tattva are getting hit negatively. Now the next thing is to identify on these 1, 2, and 3 dates, where was Saturn and where were Rahu, because those are the ones who can cause the harm. So what I do is, I just show you one slot and then you'll understand the rest of it. Blue stands for Rahu. Crown stands for Saturn. This is the first instance, this is the second instance, this is the third instance. Now you see as per this, the first instance of Rahu, let's just catch that one only so we'll understand better. So I am just trying to identify the first instance. So this is where this is the source. This is the source, correct? Now you come here and try to identify where uska hit tha. So here if you see, now just look at a number, that's what makes it easy. Can you see 9 over here? So if it is at 9, the fifth aspect by the Khekda will be this house, 9th aspect, 5th aspect for Rahu, 9th aspect the other way, but 5th aspect for Rahu. 5th is also what heart. I think Shipra had also mentioned earlier, one of you mentioned too. So if I go here and I see 9, can you see this one? I have put the 1 number over here. And the arrow, if you see, I'll delete this. If you see the arrow, I've shown the arrow going that way. Can you see that? So in the first instance, when he had the problem, can you see Rahu just 1 pada away? Because when you see this, now you have to identify this as the pada, and I'll erase it. But this is the sun and the ascendant. No? So it's just 1 pada away from that. So it's like saying it is on it only because it's in the same nakshatra. Plus, in Navmanch, where has it gone? 12th. So in the first instance, this was the guy who hit him. You're understanding? Similarly, second, that date ka transit ka dekhne ka, and then you put it here. Can you see it? Again, it is just 1 pada away from that one. So it's still not gone out of the danger zone. Because now they say Rahu goes this way, but I feel Rahu goes in all directions because Rahu is known as an explosion. So explosion doesn't go one way, it will go all ways. Chipra, you want to ask something quickly because 3 minutes bache.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask why we are focusing on Rahu because we identified Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus.
Rahu basically any sort of a damage Rahu or Saturn can do. Big damages will be done by the transit of Rahu or transit of Saturn. And here you see Saturn and transit are both, Saturn and this thing are both hitting. Let's do one thing. There are only some 4-5 minutes. You understood this one, Chipra? See, chota mota things, so like a toothache and all Mars can give, or a pimple Mars can give, or some skin, this thing Mercury can give. But something which is big, like a heart related issue or some major thing, Saturn, which is the rogue karak for bigger things, and Rahu, which is a karak of toxin. And total disruption. So those two guys, if they are in any way hitting the ascendant, the transiting one I'm saying, they will give a hit. Now, if you see here, if you remember just a couple of months back, Saturn and Rahu are both here. Just now what has happened is your Saturn is here and your Rahu is here. So if you see Saturn by the 5th aspect, 9th aspect is hitting the ascendant. Rahu, basically, if you see in the Ulta this thing, just now he has crossed it. But till a little while ago, it was here. In the first one. If you see the first, this thing now, you see the chart later on, you'll understand after you see the video. He was here. When Rahu started off, when his problem started, Rahu was here. That's what I 1, 2, 3 for last time what I was trying to explain. That comes in great news just in such things. Is it going too fast or too high? Or you all understanding? At least the seniors.
Sir, these are Brigo aspects, right?
Sorry?
These are Brigo aspects.
Yeah. See, what I'm trying to tell you is the overall aspect, we take like our regular Parashari thing. But now when you want to zero down in, you have to take the Parashari degree aspect. Otherwise, it is, otherwise, like I told you last time, many times we see it, but it's not hit. You remember last time I'd shown you that Saturn hitting something, lag raha hai, but wo to Saturn idhar gaya aur ye udhar gaya. So it doesn't work that way. So what I'm trying to say is, the basic protocol over here, after you study this, firstly is to identify the planets. Second thing is to identify them where they sit, where these guys sit. When you identify this planet, this is by what Karak of that thing, like Moon, Mars, blood, everything like that. Find out where they are seated over here. Then after that, find out what actually the JAMA thing also I should have put there also, that Saturn had come up over there. So Saturn and Rahu are the ones which can cause the issue, right? So first of all, identify Saturn, Rahu, whether in the basic D1 it is hitting. So here, if you remember, there is a concept of 311 Rahu hit also. If you know that. Some people say 212, some scriptures say 311, some say 5-9. So I take it as it comes because I feel it can do anything. So here, if you see 212, it is hitting Moon. If you say 311, it is hitting the ascendant Sun, Venus, Mercury. Correct. So another thing you want to see is Ketu has got a 5th, 9th aspect on this also. Correct. So from all angles, it is getting hit over there. Mera remedy I forgot to discuss. Just remind me on that when you come. I think what we'll do is we'll log off now 1 minute bacha because save will करने का time रहता है. Catch the second link and come on all of you. I'm stopping it here. Take the second link and come.